All right, good morning, everyone. So my name is Temi. Let's see where my journey with Wave started from. Firstly, I can't really talk about Wave without talking about my relationship with Kelvin, because Kelvin is the reason I came to Wave. We were classmates at Unilag, where we studied for 4 years. So when we're coming towards like the end of our school run, and he kind of just suggested, I heard about this very lovely initiative where people go get like a 3-week training and get a job. I'll say the struggles at first were some of the house rules, because the former CEO, Miss, she was a tough cookie at times. And at that point, you're kind of wondering, like, why is life so serious? But then now you kind of understand why she did everything that she did, because then it was like struggle, like you had to be there at 8 in the morning, regardless of where you're coming from. And if you are 1 minute late, like she could tell you like to go back home, and that day is gone for you. And for a program that you paid for, I don't think what you want to hear is that you just wasted 1 day. But that's how strict it was. Wow, it's been 10 years, so trying to remember some of the high points. I mean, it's lovely for me to reconnect with some of my old batchmates. I'm seeing Toby, I'm seeing Sam, and it kind of just bringing back all of those memories of all the fun we had. Because to be honest, it was work, but it was also fun, and it was a chance to connect with a lot of people that you've never met before, and then kind of everyone on the same journey as you, which is trying to start their future from then and trying to build like a career in hospitality, essentially, because that was kind of like the focus of what we did. So high points, I'll just say, is everything that we learned, all of the key speakers that came, all the mentors that we had, kind of putting us through and giving us tips on exactly how to navigate a career in hospitality or even any sector, essentially, because we had different key speakers then. So the last day when you kind of graduate from the class where everyone gathers around and you kind of reminisce on the 3 weeks that you spent together, I think that was a really, really good one for us. And then after Wave, I went for a couple of interviews actually. Job shadow was at Golden Tulip Hotel, which was kind of like my first real experience of being in a hotel setting. It just kind of set the pace for me for where my career was going to. So I spent like 4 days in Golden Tulip, had to go to First Stack every day on job shadow, kind of like just being introduced to how a hotel worked, different departments, reception, laundry, housekeeping, and all of that. So it kind of was a very good eye-opening, kind of set the pace for when I did eventually get into working in a hotel of that caliber. Then I already understood kind of something. So I had a good foundation for when I actually started my job. So I've had friends who have come here. My sister has come to Wave. So that's how far I've taken it. Like I've had people really close to me. If someone just says, oh, they need a job, and I'm like, I have this really lovely program that I attended and that they helped me. After my 3 weeks program at Wave, so I was sent on a couple of interviews. So I just got a call, can you be in Elephant House in 1 hour? When I got to Elephant House, it was not even like a direct interview, it was like assessment just to kind of filter out candidates. And fortunately, I passed the assessment. And then the next day, they kind of asked us to come back for then. I think this was now then more of a face-to-face interview with the employers. So I kind of just had this very short interview. I think what they were really looking for is how well you can communicate and how well you can answer questions. And I think I was also fortunate, like one of the key decision makers, she really just took a liking to me. Like I'd only said a few words and I already saw her smiling, and it kind of felt like, oh, she was really liking what I was saying. And so from there, things just naturally moved. I got a job offer. So I started as a switchboard operative. Like essentially you are the first line of contact for anyone calling to the hotel. So my job was to pick calls, direct calls to other departments, take messages for people. And that was like the basic level that I started at, and that was in May of 2015 when I resumed at Radisson. So I was a switchboard operator for 2 years. Came to me and said, Temi, you're just working with me at reception today. I was like, sorry, what? All of it, I just came out of the blue and just said, you'll be working at reception. I've never done this before, but then it's what it is. Those are the opportunities that life presents you to kind of seize the moment. So I think then I worked with her in reception, and at the end of the day, she was like, God bless you so much. You really, really helped today. Like, I'm really, really impressed with how you did, because it was my first time speaking to guests face to face, because normally I'm just behind the phone, but I spoke to guests face to face. And even the hotel management system that they used, she was surprised at how good I was, because I'd really never used it to that level that I did that day. So she was really, really impressed. And from then, you just know that when your bosses have a special assignment, it's kind of like they'll give it to you, even though it's outside of your pay grade, but they'll just always give it to you because they trust you. And I think that's very fundamental for every employer. Although some people kind of make jokes that you really don't want to become too important at your job because then it means they are going to overuse you. But sometimes it's also good to kind of impress and catch the eye because you just never know where life is taking you. And so from that point on, I kind of had goodwill in the office because everyone just, like the management team just like all of my managers just kind of liked me. And I didn't even know how far my stock was going, that the general manager of all people was also noticing my work. And I think 2 years later in 2017, he recommended me to be moved to Reservations. And I think that's really when my hospitality journey started, because Reservations is, I'm still doing Reservations now 10 years later. And I would say everything I learned in Radisson is probably, it's 90% of how I am doing, how I'm faring in my current job as well. Because so when I moved to Reservations, I was also fortunate to meet with a even better management than what I had when I was working in switchboard in the reception.